All right, we're live. Silver Doctors on air. Excited to be back for another live stream. Excited to find out what is going on with you guys, as well as to update you on what's going on in these markets. So I'm happy to be back hosting. I got my better half over here, Mr. Half Dollar. How you doing this afternoon, my friend?
Doing good today, Mike. Happy Wednesday to you. It was interesting past couple days since we last spoke, so there's a lot of stuff to get into today.
Yeah, and I think, as I mentioned before, there's going to be a lot of good subject matter to cover, so we'll definitely touch on it. But before we dive any further, wanted to acknowledge a couple people's presence thus far. We got more people jumping in, and so before we get going, we'll do that real quick, and then we'll dive right into it. So
Mm-hmm.
we got Big Bubs says, "Love the show, guys. Keep up the good work," from Dayton, Ohio. And we got Benjamin Smith from Tampa Bay in the house. We got Albert S. says jobs report was abysmal. Manufacturing jobs down. Burger flipping jobs up. Yeah. China deal is close. DJ Trump. DJ Trump. DJ spinning those old tunes. What's up, Mike and Paul? Excalibur, Silver fan. Hey, you guys. So how's everybody doing this afternoon? Mr. Half Dollar. What do you want to start off with this afternoon?
Start off by welcoming everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We've switched up our time to 11 now, so we'll see how this goes. I just wanted to start off by saying, there's a few different ways to interact with me and Mike and just the whole Silver Doctors crew, which there aren't a whole lot of us, just a couple guys that hold the lights for us and whatnot. But, there's a couple different ways to interact, and it's the chat and it's the call-in during the show, but also there's news at silverdoctors.com. People, we welcome submissions, we welcome questions, we welcome comments, all of that good stuff. I got a question, so I just wanted to address that because I got a question through the news at silverdoctors.com email, and it just basically said, do I recommend any kind of purchases right now since they can't get silver at spot anymore? Remember that deal that they had at SD Bullion last week? You can get silver at spot, Mike. I did some quick little research, and I just want to show one thing. This will only take a really quick second, but this is what I would recommend right now. This is a pretty good deal going on. I guess SD Bullion's got like this Cyber Week thing going on all week long. So, it's not even really Cyber Monday anymore. It's like Cyber Week. But they got this deal going on. This is a killer deal, Mike. This is you buy 19 of these Perth Mint, right? Lunar Series snakes, and you get one of them for free. And I'm looking right now, and the live price that I'm seeing on the website is $422 for 20 coins. But I just wanted to show this because these are really cool, right? This is one of the things that I talk about, coins that people should consider buying. Here's a roll right here. Now, these are the dogs. These dogs are really beautiful. See, these got these German Shepherds on it with the puppy, and that's got like a reverse proof in the front. But there's a couple things I want to talk about these coins for just 1 second because this is kind of important. This is the Lunar Mint series, right? We talked about different reasons for buying coins, and these coins have the possibility to appreciate in premium value in addition to the value of the silver itself. And like one of the things that I think about is if I can get a silver eagle for $20, I'm doing good. These ones are barely over $20, but they're super cool because they come individually encapsulated in an airtight from the Perth Mint. So, for just like not even the price of an airtight more, right? You can get these really nice coins here. So I just wanted to start off with that. People ask me, they can't get silver spot anymore. Yeah, good sales like that, they're not going to be around forever. But this right here is a heck of a deal. Buy 19, get one free. And just keep those questions and comments coming to news@silverdoctors.com. And I guess keep the hate mail coming too. I mean, we welcome it all.
Might as well.
I just hit delete fast though. But
now watch that. I bet you that those 20 ounces is pretty heavy, huh?
Oh man, this thing, this could be like a weapon. You can like hit somebody with this. And this is cool because this comes from the Perth Mint like this. This is like encapsulated. Well, each one of them is in the airtight, but then it's also like wrapped in like a shrink wrap. I don't know if you can see like the shrink wrap on there.
Yeah.
But they do a really nice job. So it doesn't come in like a nice tube with a green lid that says U.S. Treasury or excuse me, U.S. Mint like the Silver Eagles do, but it still is a really nice presentation there. And remember, you got the silver appreciation, you got the premium appreciation, the collectability, you got, the airtights. You're not going to get your smudges all over it. It's good stuff there.
Yeah. And so looks like Big Bub says, Silver Doctors, Paul, you were talking about the 5-ounce Tree of Life. Did you by chance get a chance to do the roaring lion?
I've got it right. Let me hold on. Let me cover a couple things up here. I've got it right here. I have not done the unboxing yet. I plan on doing the unboxing, but I have not yet. So I don't want to do it today because we're trying to stick to this 30-minute time period. So I don't want to do it like on camera. I want to get into the subject matter because there's a lot of stuff going on.
All right, so let's dive right away. And so as always, if you guys thoughts, comments, call in or at Silver Doctors, we'll touch on it, but we want to dive in and get it going. So Mr. Half Dollar, let's kick it off. What do you have in mind for us?
Okay, trade war. Today we're going to be talking about the trade war and the stock market and economy and jobs in general, and gold and silver as well, because Monday and Tuesday was a lot of trade war escalation. Were you following that, Mike?
I unfortunately was not as much as I should have been. No.
Fortunately or not, because I'm getting sick of it. I just let it all out in my midweek update today because it's just disgusting, and I'm getting sick of this going back and forth, right? But on Monday, President Trump came out, and he was ramping up the trade war escalations effective immediately. You know, we're going to start back up the steel and aluminum tariffs on Brazil and Argentina, you know, and then talking about China and talking about just ramping up the trade war in general. Then yesterday he came out and said, I'm not in any hurry. It could be, it's probably going to be better after the 2020 election for all that matters, right? So he like openly said this in an interview. Yeah. For all the like, I don't know if it's the G7 or all of NATO or who exactly it is, but they're meeting in London right now. So this was on camera yesterday, right? When he said this. So this is putting a bid under gold and silver, right? Because the markets are thinking, trade deal is close. And then just today, I wake up this morning and what do I see? Oh, my goodness, from Bloomberg, U.S. China move closer to trade deal. So I just want to send you this link right here because this just gets me disgusted.
Get you disgusted.
Yeah, I mean, it's like just this constant back and forth. I highlighted a couple things in the article. And
all right, now watch this. Watch this. Hold on 1 second. We got a call. Let's see if we can get this call in real quick. So hold your thought, and let's see what we can do. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm calling in from New York.
How you doing, my friend? What's on your mind?
I'm all right. Again, I love the show. I would just like to get you guys' take on the whole China trade deal situation. To be honest, I don't think that there is no trade deal. I think that fell apart a very long time ago, and they're just keeping the news away from us to keep everything from that actually being a catalyst to set things off too early. If you look at it, why would any country that's in the midst of doing a trade deal with us be moving away from us? They're doing all the steps necessary to totally disconnect themselves from us and then come back in a stronger position to economically, financially, or either just with real estate-wise, attack us and get a stronger position there. I don't think there is a trade deal anymore. Why would it possibly take that long and Trump be pushing it off and saying, hey, look, I'll push it to after the election. That could be the thing that wins the election for him. If anything, that would secure a tighter spot and make everybody at ease. Like, wow, look what this guy just did. He grabbed China by the cojones and really, let them have it and, everything all is well. Instead of saying, oh, hey, I'll push this back. Because there is no, China doesn't want to play with us no more. None of the countries.
I would doubt it.
One kid, the bully that everybody got bigger than now.
Yeah.
And I just like to get you guys' take on that.
All right.
A lot of false news and false reporting. They keep a lot of things from us, so, it's hard to believe that type of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the call, my friend. We might definitely touch on it right now. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. All right, Mr. Half Dollar, continue on from your not disgusted.
Yeah. And those are all great comments. And it is, right? It's so much propaganda. And yes, the world is, in fact, turning away from the United States. The rest of the world no longer needs the United States. People who think that the U.S. and the U.S. dollar are just going to reign supreme, and they still do, right? There's not a shortage of dollars. There's an oversupply of people who are thinking about this whole thing wrong. That's what's going on here. And he made up a great point about like the propaganda and the lies and the misdirection. Did you pull up the article that I sent you?
Yep, it's up right now.
So the red box, right, where I have the yellow highlights, I'm just going to read a couple of those little highlights. This is from just this morning, and this just goes to show exactly what that caller was talking about, right? Listen to this. So U.S. and China are moving closer to agreeing on the amount of tariffs that will be rolled back. So they're talking about the phase one trade deal, in a phase one trade deal. The people who asked not to be identified, right? So, I mean, come on, who are these people? They're just writing this stuff up. U.S. legislation is seeking to sanction the officials, Chinese officials, but it's unlikely to impact the talks. One person familiar with Beijing's thinking said. It's like, I mean, who is really buying this stuff? I mean, this is not credible at all. U.S. negotiations expect a phase 1 deal with China to be completed before American tariffs are set to rise on December 15th. What regulators? You know what I mean? So it's just like total complete misdirection. Yeah. And the thing that gets me so frustrated about all of this is that, you know, this is coming out of Bloomberg, right? Coming out of Bloomberg Terminal. The algorithms feed off of this stuff, and then they just ramp the markets up. They ramp the markets down. All this is that revolving door between Washington and Wall Street, getting more power and getting more money at the expense of everybody else. And, you know, we just let it all happen like it's just no big deal. This is just what it is. And people make fun of this stuff. It's like, oh, the trade deal's back on today. Oh, the trade deal's back off today. It's not funny. It's disgusting to me. So it's just, you know, it's getting to the point where it's just like aggravating. So I like woke up all frustrated, and I apologize if I'm venting here today, but that's just the feeling that I had when I saw that headline first thing.
Yeah. Hey, no problem at all, man. And so a lot of people clearly are concerned and curious as to how this is going to play out. And so one thing the caller did mention is that there is no trade deal. And so I believe that is all a facade to get us into this 2020 time frame of where everybody behind the scenes already knows what's really going on. It's just the public that's being led astray by stuff like this. But here's the biggest thing we should think about. If there was really a deal to be made, why would the president continuously talk about putting on tariffs? Tariffs is not a great incentive for anybody to want to come to the table to negotiate in a fair and even balanced way, if that is possible. But at the end of the day, a debtor nation can't really make any demands when they're dependent upon other nations keeping them alive through credit extension by buying their treasuries and all the stuff that they're getting away from. So with all this gold accumulation that's being mentioned more and more day by day, that lets me know that there is no real trade deal. It's a matter of buying some time. So this phase 1, whatever phase 1 is, could probably blow up in December 15th, or they can blow some more smoke saying that we're going to meet again on the 16th and, you know, we're going to come to negotiations by January 1st, 2020. This is all buying time for whatever's coming in January of 2020, in my opinion.
It is. So yesterday when they're talking about President Trump saying, well, you know, I can wait until after the election to get a good deal, you know, gold and silver started moving, right? And then last night, over in the overnight hours, silver got up to $17.41. And I'm looking right now, and I got a price on the last price on my trading platform is $16.88. So we're down like, you know, over 50 cents. We're down, you know, over 3% just in a matter of hours based on this headline here. So it's just unbelievable, the stuff that we're seeing. And I agree. And there's no thing that could be any kind of sort of substance with this trade deal. If anything, it's just going to be a rebrand, but it's going to be the same old stuff that in the end is not going to benefit the people. It's just going to be which deep state globalists are dictating the terms of whatever is going to come about of it.
Very true. And the thing is, with all this small gyrations in the prices that people actually pay attention to, at some point it's going to come a time where they're going to lose control or it's going to break and it's going to snap upward to where everybody who's right now on the fence saying, man, should I buy? Should I wait till it goes 10 cents lower? Should I? You're going to wake up one day, it's going to be $1.50 more. You're like, dang, I should have got it yesterday. Or $10 more. Man, I should have got it last week. So don't play with fire because you're going to get burnt. In my personal opinion, if you know what's right, do it now. Don't wait. What do you have to lose? In my personal opinion, it's a mathematical certainty that the price in nominal terms of metals, they can only go up, not down. If they do go down, it's temporarily for a bit to benefit you. So, don't play with fire.
Right, but then also the other thing is they can go down, but like and I mean obviously like the ebbs and the flows of the market. But if they're going down in deflation, they're still buying more because they're going down more slowly in relation to everything else. Although I don't think that was the intention. I think you're talking more about the ebbs and flows there. Yeah. But you know, one thing that's interesting to me is, you know, I'm finally starting to see like frustration in people who just have been like, see, I'm neutral in all this, right? I'm not pro-Trump. I'm not anti-Trump. I'm just looking at things that are going on. But I'm seeing a lot of people who are pro-Trump starting to see, wait a second, this is all a facade here. So that's an interesting development. Yesterday, I'm seeing a lot of people venting their frustrations on Twitter. And it's going to get into one of the next topics that I want to talk to. But if you want to take a moment here to bring up a different topic or address the chat, we can do that too, Mike.
No, I don't see any direct questions other than Big Kenny Boys basically wants us to hold off on the callers until you finish your thoughts, so we can do that. So Big Kenny, I appreciate that. So Mr. Half Dollar, take us to your next thoughts and we can move on.
Okay. Now, and I hate to stick on this President Trump and Twitter, but I have to do this really quick.
Well, that's what we do here, so it's all good.
And I'm gonna send you a here it is, and I'm gonna send you this link right here. So this is also from yesterday, and this is okay. Now I got it, and okay, there it comes right there. So this is from yesterday, and this is also something that President Trump said. This is a direct quote. There's no way to misconstrue this, right? This is a direct quote. And what he said was, I do not watch the stock market. Mm-hmm. Said, if the stock market goes up or down, I do not watch the stock market.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is a bold-faced lie. There's no way to sugarcoat it. This is a bold-faced lie. Scroll down through that article that I sent you. This is an article that we put up. So just in October 31st, he said, stock market up more than 400 points yesterday. Today looks like it's going to be another good one. Corporate earnings are great, right? So, I mean, I guess if we're going to say that looks is not the same thing as watch. I mean, if we're going to break it down like Bill Clinton's, what's the definition of is, right? If we're going to go there, I mean, I guess we can go there, right?
Yeah.
Let's scroll down some more, right? Let's scroll down some more.
Yeah.
So here's from November 29th, 2017. So this is like a pattern, right? Mm-hmm. Looks like another great day for the stock market. Consumer confidence is at record high, right? So there's another one where he's looking at it, but he's not watching it, Mike. He's looking at it, but he's not watching it.
He's glancing at it.
Now, here's where it gets tricky, right? Because we get into the derivatives, right? Mm-hmm. So the word is watch, right? I do not watch, to look, even though that's a synonym. So we go back to 2013. This has been going on for years and years and years and years, right? Mm-hmm. So I've always been a fan of Steve Jobs, especially after watching Apple stock collapse without him. So, the question is, if he doesn't watch the stock market, is that the same as watching stocks? I don't know, man. I guess it might be the truth, but it's getting to be a stretch here. So this is just one of the things that I see when I say it's interesting, because I'm seeing people vent their frustration. And these are like just the direct targeted words, right? I mean, he talks about the stock market every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, right? And he's also said that it's my stock market, direct quote. So, if I have something, anything that I have, I watch, right? I keep an eye on every single thing that I have. So if he said it's my stock market, why is he not going to watch what he has, right? So it's like, these are just bold-faced lies that are just harder and harder to, just deal with every single day. Yeah. And I'm seeing more people coming to the fact that, things aren't really changing. Where are the mass arrests? Where are the sealed indictments? Where is lock her up? Where is sending all these traders to Gitmo and all this 4D chess stuff that all these holdouts still like to talk about because it gets the clicks and it gets the views on YouTube? It's like, it's just disgusting, Mike.
Yeah. What I'll take away from that is the fact that he does glance at certain portions or pieces of the equities market. And then the biggest question would then be for me is, how much does he have invested in it? Like, what does he stand to lose? Because I don't know what the clause is for president, a business owner transition to president. You got to let go of a lot of things. But I'm sure you don't have to let go of your retirement portfolio. And not that he actually has a retirement portfolio, because he doesn't need one, because he is whatever he does, it puts him in a different class to where he's not concerned with the true valuation of the equities markets in general. So I wonder, what is he actually betting on, and what is he shorting, and what is he positioning himself in to profit while this thing comes down, because he's pumping it up. So I wonder how much will he profit when it does tank. That would be the $1 trillion question. And of course, if he gets a second term, when he leaves office, depending on how things play out, I can see there being a major investigation when he goes back to being a regular civilian, or whatever the term might be, into how much richer will he be when he leaves office, whether it's first or a second term. So we're going to find out.
Yeah, good points. And I want to tie this into the third topic here, because it just comes down to what I think is going on. Next week is the December FOMC, right? So Oh, and that's another thing, right? Before I go into that topic, President Trump said, immediately after I don't watch the stock market, he said, I watch jobs. And what's this Friday? This Friday is the jobs report. So now all of a sudden we're going to have the most important jobs report ever, right? Because that's what President Trump watches. But it leads me into something else, right? Because next week is the FOMC, the 2-day FOMC meeting where the Fed decides whether they're going to raise rates or not, right? Like if they're undecided. Now, when you look at like the CME probability, like a month ago, there was a probability, a certain percentage of a rate cut, right? With most people saying hold rates. But ever since like the past couple weeks, right? And this week on Wednesday, I was going to write about it. On Sunday, I was going to write about it, but I didn't. But I saved the graph and I actually wrote about it on Tuesday. But it was like 90-some% chance that they're going to hold on rates and like a 6.6% chance that they were going to actually raise rates. So, I think part of what's going on here is that, what are the Fed's two mandates? Price stability and maximum employment, right? But they also said they want to keep this expansion going. So, and they're also concerned about trade war escalations. So I think that what's going on is I think that, because on Monday and on Tuesday, President Trump again is calling out the Fed, telling them to cut rates and loosen. In fact, he tweeted that twice on Monday, in the morning and in the evening. Now, I think what's going on is he's trying to escalate this trade war, right, to get the stock market to drop and then get the stock market to drop a certain point so that between enough drop in the Dow and enough escalation in the trade force, it's going to force the Fed's hand to cut next week because the markets are not expecting a cut at all next week, and President Trump wants a cut big time next week. Yeah. Thoughts on that, Mike?
So remember that I think it was a week or two, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, when Jerome Powell was meeting with President Trump. So no doubt they talked extensively about how the end of this year should play out in regards to all the hot air they're going to blow out into the mainstream media about the trade situation and all the sanctions that's out there and the additional tariffs that will be passed on to other countries now for whatever reason. And so whatever this great deal he's looking for, it probably has to do ultimately with the restructuring of our monetary system at the end of the day, of course. But the next couple of decisions that we made next week and thereafter will be very important for the overall health of the financial market. So based upon the decisions that come out of there, the markets will react. And so here's the question. Do we want to have a similar repeat to last December when there was 600, 700, 800, and there's a lot of uncertainty? Or will there be decisions made to make that thing rally? And so it all boils down to how do they want this new decade to start? And I would imagine the powers that be that are anti-Trump and want him out or whatever, they're going to probably try to have this thing tank heading into 2020 so that, as you mentioned the other day, Bloomberg can get a little rally and all those potential candidates can get some rallying, or Trump can make that call to make it rally and we go into 2020 with more hype and everything else around possible markets and more tweets. Everybody's wealthier going into 2020 and stuff like that. So it can play either way.
Yeah. Enjoy your wealth, thanks to your benevolent president. And speaking of Bloomberg, right? Because remember I was talking about we need to kind of see what the narrative is going to be this week, and it's been changing, right? And it's been so fast. And one of the things is, right, and it's what I said this morning, right? It's not necessarily what the headlines say, it's who's controlling those headlines.
Who controls
so
the narrative?
I'm still trying to say again.
I'm sorry. Who controls the narrative? Basically, is what
Yes. So that's why I'm still trying to figure this whole Michael Bloomberg thing out, right? Because Bloomberg, they feed those Bloomberg terminal, headlines, so they can flip that switch anytime they want. So if they want to bring this system down, they can bring this system down, right? And that would certainly be to the benefit of Michael Bloomberg.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to figure all that thing out, but either way, there's a lot of we're at the cusp of something here, Mike.
Right. And so looking at the chat real quick, I see Johnny Ascari says, quotes, Trump reality show. And just hearing all this stuff about how influential and how impactful his decisions making is, his tweets are, everything he says or does is basically, man, we're a part of the biggest reality show in human history, because never before has social media, a president of this nature, and the global economy, all those things come into in front of one TV screen, one tweet, one social media platform, to where any decision is made, good or bad, can determine our financial futures. Ain't that something? So this beats The Apprentice, and this beats WWE, all the stuff Trump was a part of. He is prime time, center stage, the most vocal and most powerful voice at this current moment. Because when he says something that's off the cuff, the markets react. When he says something the other complete opposite, the markets still react.
Yeah. And just the swings and the gyrations, wow, they're really getting to me there.
Yeah.
Low blood pressure had a good question. Hold on, there was it looks like it looks like there's several questions there.
Go ahead, touch on them.
Paul, you were talking about that was the one about the tree of life there.
Guys, it's Trump mouth moving the market.
I slept and woke up and there was a silver slam. Yeah, me too, right? So
respectful. And so what it says, would you guys vote Democrat if it means silver to the moon?
Yeah, see that's the one that I wanted to address. There's a couple interesting dynamics there, right? So one, I don't think that people's votes count. And when I say that, it's not like, I'm just only one person, my votes don't count. No, it's like literally your vote is not counted, right? Like that's what I literally mean. I think that people in specific, especially any important position, are selected, right? They're not elected in by the people. Because just like whoever controls the headlines can get the algos to do whatever they want the algos to do, whoever controls counting the vote controls who gets elected, right? So it's just one big fraud and one scam. Our government's just totally rotten and corrupt to the core, in my opinion. So, that said, anything that can help bring down this system faster, right? Because that's what we need. The more we prolong this crisis, this financial, economic, and market crisis that has to come, the worse it's going to be for everybody. So I would rather do anything that would get it over with sooner than later. Now, the end result of that is, in fact, silver to the moon. We know that that's the end result. Gold as well. So that would just be like secondary, right, to the fact that I just want to go ahead and quit route. My opinion is not to rally behind the captain of the Titanic, right? I would rather just focus on rebuilding, getting to dry land and rebuilding, right? So anything that would help speed up the process, I'm all for that. Thoughts there, Mike?
Yeah, it's a tough situation because the longer this thing is prolonged, then that means the harder it's going to be to rebuild. But yet we're already, who knows a true time frame of how far this thing has been suppressed, apart from the great financial crisis results in QE and all that stuff like that. So 10 years of complete manipulation and artificial everything. So that I automatically assume it'll be 10 years, 5 to 10 years of trying to gain some type of normalcy and then the rebuilding process. So that's 10, 15 years right there. So no matter what, I'm in no rush for the silver to go to the moon, because when it goes to the moon, that means that we are in a world that we may not necessarily be comfortable holding that weight in or trying to transact with it, or however we look at it. So I'm patient. Because once we get to the moon, ain't no coming back.
Yeah, true. And halfway, because because you hear like the standard is, well, what would the world look like with $10,000 gold? My thing is, would the people even realize it? I don't even think that people would even realize it, because most of the people are just asleep anyway, and most of the people are not going to wake up. So if silver's $1,000, will they really understand? Will they even know that silver is $1,000? And do they even know what silver is? Something like 30%. 30% of the people think the dollar is backed by gold still, Mike.
No, I said they will know the importance of gold and silver, because inflation or the cost that they are spending when they go to the stores for everything else will be so astronomically high. It'll be hard for the mainstream news not to comment on the price of metals at all-time world global highs in the same currency that people are struggling with. So as a result of the struggle of day-to-day life necessities, you can't help but notice the fact that gold is through the roof, silver's through the roof, and everything else that has monetary properties would be probably through the roof as well, to where they're going to be like, man, like, we should have bought some of that, or let's take what we have now and get some of that now, because that's going to continue to go up, and what we have is going to go down. So I think by default, by the sheer pain of the reality of the situation, people will wake up.
Yes.
And then again, that's not too late, but it's going to be very uncomfortable then, because you won't be able to get you probably be able to get 1 gram of something that you actually want. If that. But you got an article for me. You can pull this up. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, it's just a tweet. Yeah, and because right, we talk about the slow print, the hyperinflation over 100 years, the hyperinflation over 10 years. It's going to go fast, so they're going to learn really quick. Just to say, I do agree with what you said there. But just go back one more time. So Monday, right? Again, right? Because you had talked about inflation. So again on Monday, right? The Fed should lower rates, right? So who cares about saving money, right? Who cares? That's so 1990. The Fed should lower rates. There is almost no inflation. See, this is the problem, right? It's like, how on the one hand, can people just look at something and say there is almost no inflation? I mean, that to me is just like spitting in my face with a lie. That's how I feel when I see something like that.
Yeah.
So people think that I'm hard on it, but that's just the way I see it. When they say there's almost no inflation, man, that's like, stick a fork in me.
Yeah. I think it's more so that I don't really, at this point, I'm so beyond the mainstream facade that we have been given that when I see stuff like that, I'm thinking like he can say that based upon the fact he has to be optimistically supportive of everything that's happening to keep confidence in the system. So I know that he has to act. So being a president is primarily you are an Academy Award winning actor type of performance. If you don't, confidence is lost. Therefore, you got to say stuff like that. And it also depends on what exactly is he looking at to gauge that definition of inflation. Because all the assets, all the bubble type of things reveal something else. But yet when it comes to food or whatnot, he might be able to say, there's not really an inflation because people still going to shopping and using, so whatever. So what he's looking at obviously is not clearly what we are feeling. So that's one big thing.
Yeah. Well said. Good points there. So that's what I got there today, Mike. If you want to go ahead and start dialing back here.
Yes, sir. So it's been great once again hanging out with everybody. And so 30 minutes, get in, get out, give you everything you guys need, get your thoughts and comments. Will be somewhat of a new approach. We'll see how that goes. But want to just cut out a lot of the, let me see, how would I label that? A lot of the excess and get right to the meat and potatoes. How about that? But anyway.
Yeah, which is like what we can see is it's like 2 or 3 different little issues, different events, different news items that we can talk about during the day, right? Because, the thing that's been dominating since we last spoke on Monday has been the trade war, the stock market, the Fed, interest rates, and all that stuff. So, because, we want to add that third day, right? So instead of a couple hour-long shows, we're going to have a few half-hour shows. So that's what we're looking to do here. And we will get to that.
Yeah. So with that being the case, everybody's been great hanging out. If you've enjoyed this back and forth, don't be afraid to donate a thumbs up. Just hit the button right beneath this channel here. And if you found anything informative, extract it out, share it with your family and friends, or just give them the whole video. Tell them to join us on this Friday, 11 a.m. We're going to do it again and see how that goes. But other than that, be blessed, be safe, and as well as connect with us at Silver Doctors at, news at silverdoctors.com. If you got articles or anything you want to share with us directly, then beneath this video also, social media, connect with us there and stay in tune with us between now and the next time we meet again on Friday. But enjoy the rest of your day. Be blessed, be safe, and we'll see you later. Peace.